Happy Spookies, everybody. I hope you're all doing well, having a most excellent day. And today we're going to go and talk about the fear footage.
This is the police? Yay! Come out now!
I've been hearing strange noises coming from this wooded area out back of my apartment building. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
I will shoot you!
Creepy clown sighting.
Get back!
No nightmares.
Dark Buck Police Department, come out now!
How's everybody doing? I hope you're all doing well. I want to go and talk about this movie that I watched a while ago. It came out 2018, probably saw it around at that time. And it's the fear footage, if you can't already tell. I don't really have any notes too much in front of me. Let's see, I think I wrote down a couple things, like 3 paragraphs. Not even 3 paragraphs, like 4 lines. But if you're not familiar with this movie, it is an anthology found footage horror movie. And there's actually 3 of them out right now. There should be a 4th one possibly coming out soon. I think the dude just mentioned something like that. And it's all about this officer, Leo Ko, who is dispatched to this house. Once he gets inside the house and starts looking around, he sees like a TV is playing static and there's like a tape right there. And he starts watching these tapes. And each of these tapes consists of a story. I believe there's 3 stories altogether. If you're not familiar with anthology movies, they're pretty much different movies within one movie, and it's always like a main story that we're following, and at the end of the movie we have the wrap up. Main story in this one is the officer being called to this house. The interesting thing about this movie is it starts off with, you know, the 911 operator being called, and we have somebody saying, hey, this house reappeared here. It was demolished, completely demolished a year ago. And I am looking at it, and this is where our officer gets dispatched to the house. Once he's there, he starts looking around. He starts experiencing really odd things in the house. He finds like a diary of a little girl who used to live there, which you get into, I think, a little bit more as the franchise goes on. And then when he starts watching the tapes, we have the 3 segments. The first one is, I believe, called Birthday Party. When I saw this a while ago, I remember thinking, this movie was okay. I think the first segment was like the only good thing I liked about it, and then I gave it a watch, I think like a year or 2 years ago, and I liked it a lot more. I think all segments are really good, but the first one is called Birthday Party. It's about this kid. Now that I look back at it, it's like my least favorite one for some reason, but it's all about this kid waiting for his birthday party, and he gets a video camera. His mom, there's like a storm coming, and on the news there's been a lot of reports about clown sightings. This was all around that time. I think it was like a year or so after the whole clown sightings thing, which was crazy. I remember that going on. It's all about clown sightings all around the town and everything, so just be wary. And later that night, he's looking out the window. There's a storm coming, and out in his front yard is a freaking clown, dude, just waiting out there with a balloon and everything. I don't want to spoil the whole segment for you. I know I gave a lot of it away there, but I don't want to completely tell you how it ends. The second segment is Storm Chasers or something like that, and it's about this group of dudes where they're just, you know, chasing the storms, bro. And as they're driving, this is a very interesting thing that gets connected here in one of the movies later, which I just thought was really neat. But yeah, as they're driving, they just hit some random dude running across the road, and they're outside like examining the body, you know, freaking out about it, about to call the cops, when all of a sudden one of the 3 dudes, I think it's 3 of them, gets shot. Straight up just gets shot. Why am I emphasizing shot so much? But yeah, straight up just gets shot out of nowhere. And it turns into this thing where they're running away from this weird ass freaking cult. They're in the middle of nowhere on top of that, and as they're running, they end up in like these tunnels, and in there they encounter like what seems to be like satanic cult shit. Again, I don't want to spoil how it ends because it has some really good practical effects, and this whole movie actually has some neat like monster costumes or like practical effects. Now the third one, I remember like liking the least when I first watched it, but I think this might be my favorite one because it probably has the most thought into it, but I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called like Speak No Evil. My cat just like woke up and now he's staring at me. Both of you guys sleeping under there? But yeah, I think the third one's called like Speak No Evil or See No Evil. It has to do with one of those speak, see, or hear no evil type of sayings. And it's about this guy who had just moved into this apartment, And within the last week or so, he's been hearing very, very unusual, strange noises outside. Now, he tried to let his wife know, but in the past, he's had some issues with drugs or whatever, so she's just assuming that he's back on that shit. She doesn't want the daughter near him. So he becomes obsessed with trying to figure out what is going on and try to prove his innocence, essentially, from his wife thinking he's a freaking drug addict again. There's actually a little bit more to this. I feel like it would spoil it because he does go out to the woods eventually to investigate after, like, you know, somebody, like, it seems like somebody breaks into his house. He keeps hearing the noises. He's doing, like, research. He finds out a little bit of backstory of what happened in the woods back there with, like, a priest and shit like that. So I don't want to give too much into it, but this one actually, as I rewatched it recently, it became probably my favorite segment. I think number one still is a contender. Number two is okay, the storm chasing one. It's cool when they get to the tunnels and stuff, but number one is kind of creepy with clowns and shit too. Now, what I really like about this movie actually is the main story with the deputy, because the wrap up is really, really neat. And it almost has like this weird, like, okay, you open one door, he's trying to make himself, okay, he's trying to get out of the house. You would think, okay, why can't he just go through the windows? The windows aren't opening for whatever reason. He goes to the garage. The garage door isn't opening. He can't even open the car in the garage for whatever reason. And he starts being like hunted down in the house by like these creatures, these weird things. And every time he tries to like open the either front door or like a back door or something, he ends up in like another part of the house and he just can never escape. But yeah, looking back on this one, I really enjoyed it a lot more. And there's 3 altogether, but number 2 I recall being my favorite of the 3. So I'm very excited to eventually review that one. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and shut up. I hope you enjoyed my review of the Fear footage. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Happy spookies.
And I don't want to hear about this anymore. Now I'm going to bed.